Hey there everybody, Shade the Fire here, and today I'm just going to be doing one of these little sort of revisiting videos because I can't really say this is a first impressions as I'm currently playing through the PC port of the first Dead Rising, which last month finally came to PC after 10 years since it came out. You know, Dead Rising 2 and 3 both on PC, but the first one took a long time to get a port. Thankfully, the port is pretty good, and, I've been playing it, and I figured I'd do one of these revisiting videos just to kind of talk about it, I guess, while I play it, as an excuse to talk about a game that I'm actually familiar with. One thing that's changed from the original is that you actually have multiple save slots now, so unlike the original, where it was kind of designed so if you saved in a way that fucked your run over, you'd have to start over, but when you start over, you carry over your character level, so the idea is, eventually, you would be, you'd be experienced enough with what's coming up, and your character would be strong enough that you could get through. So I'm here just at the beginning of day 2. Of course, when you start, you have 3 days to get through the story and, do whatever you want to do. You don't have to do the story, you can actually just kind of completely abandon it and fuck around for the 3 days until your helicopter comes. But, yeah, so it is a game that is very much determined by a time limit, more so even than, the second or third game. You're in the safe room where, all the various survivors you collect end up, unless you accidentally murder them.
Oh, thanks.
And then they just sit here for the rest of the game, making stupid, repeated comments, which thankfully don't seem to be happening right now. Where's that guy? There's one guy who just constantly goes, "What are we doing here?" But he's not doing it right now.
Very much. I'll get you back.
I might have killed that guy by accident. That might be why he's not here. Anyway, so right now, these are my main mission I can't do yet, which is why it's grayed out. I have to wait until the time limit to actually start it. We got Photo Challenge, which is a background side mission, and Shadow of the North Plaza, which is the only real side mission I have going on right now. So let's go do that. I'm just gonna kind of mess around and, talk about this. There's Otis. He is the annoying security guard who will constantly call you to tell you about side missions. But while you're talking to him, you can't do anything, or else you will hang up on him, and then he'll call you back and be angry that you hung up. So let's head into the mall proper. Excuse me, guys. Just imagine Frank West kind of awkwardly standing next to this crowd of zombies as the elevator goes down. We got these mini chainsaws, which are one of the best weapons in the game. And that's before you start using the books that increase their durability. Because, all the weapons in this game break. And various things will break easier. And these chainsaws are pretty handy, even without the books. But with the books, you can make them last kind of forever. Alright, so to get to the North Plaza, let's look at the map here. We're in Paradise Plaza, and there's no direct connection there, but normally we would cut across Leisure Park and then go through the entrance to North Plaza. Actually, that might be faster than taking the shortcut to Wonderland Plaza. So yeah, let's go out there. Of course, there is one main reason that you don't really want to go outside, or rather 3 reasons. 3 reasons in a Humvee. But we'll see that in a second. But yeah, this game was, I think, like a lot of people, this game was one of the reasons that I wanted to get a Xbox 360 when, that was still a new thing. Because that was around the time when I kind of developed my love of the zombie genre, which has now become oversaturated for a lot of people, but I still enjoy almost as much. But yeah, this came out, and that was around the time that both Shaun of the Dead and the 2007 remake of Dawn of the Dead came out. So, zombies and malls and zombies in malls were a hip thing. And I was like, man, look at all these zombies on screen. That's pretty cool. So yeah, this music means that the convicts are around. And I don't know if we'll even see them, but they're driving around out here in a Humvee, blasting zombies and trying to run you over. And yeah, the idea of being able to just kind of pick up anything and use it as a weapon, even if it's not a very good weapon, is great, and there's not enough games that do that. Are you thirsty? Like, I just love being able to do dumb shit like that, even if it's like, you know, it's not, oh, use a super effective semi-automatic rifle to headshot all the zombies. Actually, why am I walking? Eventually you realize that skateboarding is like the fastest way to get around reliably, because you can use it in stores. And there are cars you can get, but they're not really conveniently located. Oh, what do you want, Otis? North Plaza's pretty neat. It's got some pretty decent stores, including a gun store, the only gun store in the mall, which seems surprising because you'd think in American Super Mall there'd be like at least 6 gun stores. Oh, is this a separate area? That's a big old hardware store. I just want to grab like a sledgehammer or something while I'm here, so I don't have to waste my chainsaws. Pretty much everything you do gets you PP, which goes towards leveling up, and you can see at the top left there. And because Frank is a photojournalist, you've got a camera, which is something that only Dead Rising 1 and Dead Rising 2 off the record, which is the essentially alternate universe version of Dead Rising 2 that stars Frank instead of Chuck. And, you know, you can take pictures. Different things will have different genres, and certain things, like survivors doing dramatic stuff, will give you a big bonus. And that all goes into your PP, which you also can get from killing zombies to level up. This game doesn't have any combo weapons, though. That was something that was introduced in 2. But I find it doesn't really need it, because there's a lot of pretty good weapons, even without, you know, duct taping a baseball bat to the end of this sledgehammer. Or it's not a baseball bat, it was a, I think it was an axe in Dead Rising 2. That was one of the best weapons, is the sledgehammer axe. Okay, where's this guy? He's around there. I could go to the gun store, but there is actually a boss there that'll probably fuck me up. Even with my super chainsaws. Because it's a dude with a shotgun. Because yeah, there are bosses in this game, and of course all the bosses are human, not zombies, because of course humans are the real monsters. But yeah, they're psychopaths, and they all have pretty tough fights, I think. I can't think of any of them that are super easy. Except for the ones that you can kind of cheese. But him in particular is pretty tough, because he just sits in his gun shop and fires a shotgun at you. And the shotgun sends you flying. Even now I find this kind of thing is still impressive. There isn't really a lot of zombie games aside from Dead Rising that do this many zombies on screen. Oh, I passed where I need to go. Did it? Yep, just swing this big piece of plywood or whatever this is. Okay, looks like he's in here. Help! I've fallen and I cannot get up.
I can't believe this!
Well, at least he's got food.
I can't believe this!
Come on, man.
I can't believe it!
I wonder if he could be foreshadowing a future psychopath fight.
I can't believe this!
And by the time we get this guy back to the safe room, it should coincide nicely with the next story mission. So yeah, some survivors you have to escort like this. In fact, this is actually easier because For some reason, the zombies have a lot more trouble grabbing you while you're escorting someone. So you can kind of just wade through them and they'll rarely hit you. But if they do hit you, you'll have to awkwardly try and grab the person again. You also feel like you move a little faster like this. You do have a chance of getting faster when you level up, because when you level up you basically just get a random thing. Sometimes you'll get more health, sometimes you'll get faster, and it's not even like determined, you know, at level 12 you get a health boost, at level 13 you get a speed boost or anything like that. It is literally random every time you level up. You might get a stat boost, or be able to carry more items, or you might get a new move. Alright. Can't use the skateboard, so we'll just awkwardly shuffle over to the door. Thankfully the convicts still don't seem to be anywhere over here. Sell all your possessions and move into a Chevy. I feel like for a lot of people this song is just ingrained in their head, since it plays pretty much all the time. Because you can kill the convicts, but because they're not actually named NPCs, they will actually respawn the next day. Oh, there they are, crashing into a tree. Luckily, their driving AI is not great, so he'll probably just keep ramming into that tree repeatedly. Excuse me, coming through. And it's almost morning, which is when the zombies will mellow out a little bit, since this is one of those games where the zombies get more aggressive at night for some reason. Or the zombies, I should say, because this is, instead of this being a virus, this zombie outbreak is caused by a specific kind of wasp. That's never even greatly explained, but essentially, they tried to make cows that could make more meat, and accidentally created wasps that cause zombification instead. That's pretty much the story to this game, honestly. And some guy got mad about it because his little village was next to the research lab, and everybody got turned into zombies. I don't even really think that's a spoiler. Okay, you just chill there for a second. No, I can't help you up here. You're gonna have to gimp your ass up here.
Go!
One of the most useful things in this game for dealing with the Survivor AI is the setting waypoints like that. Because for some reason, they're way better at just going to a waypoint than they are at following you, because when they follow you, they'll constantly try to pick fights with zombies. I guess because they're trying to defend you. Yep, just eat that package of frozen peas. Oh god. And then he just zips up there. I think they made that animation faster in this version, because it used to be really hard for them to get up there. And we'll get a nice big fat bonus for rescuing him. And I should level up.
Yeah.
Alright, so now I can throw items farther, and with more force. Jesse, we ready for this mission yet? Nope. We gotta wait until morning, which is in 10 minutes. Also, a stupid thing, if I'm still in here when this triggers, I'm pretty sure nothing will happen. I have to leave and come back for this mission to happen. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Also, nice thing is the load times are really fast compared to what they were on the original Xbox 360. Just because you're dead doesn't mean you don't need to eat your vegetables! Another thing I found neat is that all of these zombies down there are actually zombies, not just, you know, JPEGs. You can take pictures of them. If you had a sniper rifle, you could kill them. So they are actually physically being rendered in, which, you know, was more impressive on the Xbox, but it's still pretty neat that they actually bothered to do that. Alright, so we should be, now that that's lit up, we should be ready for this mission. Now, you notice how it's got a very small sliver. If you don't hit this mission between a very specific time, you will fail it and then not be able to complete the story for the rest of your run, unless you start over. So that's the kind of thing where you could fuck yourself over and, like, not have enough time to get back to the safe room when you saved. Alright, what's going on with these government agents?
That can't be good. What's going on, anyway?
Before this whole thing started, someone called the professor and told him to come to this mall.
Jack the line, did you? So was this the caller, this guy here? They've got something to do with the zombies, don't they?
They're the reason we came here. And if he gets away with Dr. Barnaby, none of our questions will be answered.
What are we doing here?
I don't know what it is, but in a way I kind of find Dead Rising 1 more charming than Dead Rising 2. I mean, there is that whole thing where this game was made by, you know, Capcom Japan, whereas the second game was outsourced to a Western developer. In fact, I believe it was a developer over in Vancouver. And thus does not quite have that level of Japanese Capcom weirdness that this one does. Like, I feel like Chuck is a little bit too much of a sympathetic character to actually be interesting, whereas Frank is kind of a psychopath sometimes. Like, there's a bit where a cult is sacrificing people, and Frank just kind of stands there watching them and tries to take a picture with his camera. He doesn't actually try to help or anything. He's just like, well, that's interesting. I'm a photojournalist. I've covered wars, you know? Whereas Chuck's all like, oh, I gotta get Zombrex for my daughter, because she's got the zombie. It's funny, not a lot of times where you'd actually complain about your protagonist being more likable, but in this case, Frank being kind of a dick is just funnier. Okay, so that opens up a shortcut, so I don't have to go the long way around to get to the entrance plaza. Which is good because, as you can see from the mission in yellow, we don't actually have that much time to get there. That, I think yellow means you have about 3 in-game hours. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Donkey Kong on his ass. That right there is one of the most useful moves in the game, the jump kick. Because you can just constantly use that to clear things out of your way. Alright, let's go do this mission. I think we'll see this mission through, and then I'll probably call it there. I just kind of wanted to chat shit at you about Dead Rising. A game from my early teen years. And I was one of the many people who played this on a non-HD screen, so the text was really hard to read.
Don't be daydreaming out here. Someone shooting from the floor above.
Watch out, Mama. Hey, it's the professor.
Look out! If we don't do something, the professor's gonna end up zombie chow. I'm going for it. You just worry about staying alive. Got it?
He says that, but, you know, being an NPC, he is not going to be able to handle Carlito himself. Carlito's kind of the main antagonist of the game, in that he caused the zombie outbreak, but he also called Frank here to report on said zombie outbreak and reveal the story. Now we've got to rescue this professor, who is comically hanging over a pit of zombies. I really did not bring an appropriate weapon for this, because I have nothing to shoot back at Carlito with. I do, however, have this sweet skateboard to get close to him. Duck and weave! No, don't throw flashbangs at me. Oh, shit.
Shit.
Exactly. There's another staircase way over there, but I think this is faster. Yep, the skateboard just goes straight up those stairs. I didn't weave that time. I have one healing item, so I should be alright. Don't worry, Brad, I'll keep him distracted with my excellent serpentine. That serpentine wasn't so excellent. I'm gonna die if I get hit again. Alright, let's chug some orange juice, which is one of the better healing items. Brad's gonna die too. He's gonna throw a grenade. This is definitely not one of the more interesting bosses to have done for this. There's not really any food places in this part of the mall. Really, Carlito? He just turned to casually pop me. Alright, so luckily it did save. We're at the safe room, so let's just skip back to here. Alright, so I do at least have a gun this time, and an extra healing item. And I guess our best strategy is to try and hide behind these pillars. Oh, he still got me. And take shots at him when Brad is getting shot. Man, he does so much more damage than I do, though. The first fight with him is a lot easier because he just has a SMG. Also, I'm already almost dead again. Gotta juggle him with Brad here. Except I'm gonna run out of bullets soon. He just like 180'd toward me instantly to shoot. I'm trying to sneak up behind him and just wail on his chainsaw. Because it'll only take like a second to down him with these things.
Jeez.
Brad? Little help? He's gonna shoot me through the window. Brad, what the fuck are you doing? Oh, shit. I thought I could get up on him there, but... Haha, I will be the distraction. It's like the worst way to fight him. Carlito, please don't. He just keeps running up to me to throw a grenade. I also think Brad is outside of the effective range of the pistol, so he's not actually doing any damage now. It's working, slowly. It's a good thing we're not really on much of a time limit to hit this professor. Ah, there's no cardboard box in here. Most cardboard boxes have a chance of spawning health, so you can break them and get like a snack. Okay, now he's just aiming at the wall. You're really taking care of him there, Brad. He just won't get close enough. If he got close enough, I could wail on him without him being able to do anything. Probably. I don't know how that didn't hit me. Come on, Carlito. Just get a little closer. Brad, you could just, like, unload on him from here, but instead he's like, nah, I'm just gonna keep popping out of cover. This is one of the tougher fights, I believe. Because it's not really complicated, but again, his fucking sniper rifle does so much damage. I like this tiny little... what? No, that's actually a different psychopath. I wish Carlito had to reload or something. Because, like, Shotgun Boss has to reload. Oh, actually, he might have just reloaded there. Oh, come on. He shoulder charged me to death? That's lame. Well, the decision to bring 2 pistols and more orange juice has been going better this time. Also, Carlito seems to be getting stuck in hesitation more often here. Still gonna run out of ammo, though. Alright, let's not Dark Souls this and get overconfident. Because as they say, overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer. I think he's just outside my range there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to rely on Brad now. Also, I've always loved that weird squishing sound when your weapon breaks or you run out of ammo. It doesn't really accurately represent anything. Like, there is nothing that would make that sound when it breaks in this game. Come on, Brad, finish him off. Oh, good, we're back in here. Carlos, how are you not down yet? I could try throwing my chainsaw at him. I think he has a sliver left. Perfect way to finish him off. Eat capitalism.
I'll be fine. Just take care of the professor. Go.
Luckily for Brad, there are no zombies on the second floor.
He's unconscious, but alive.
Damn!
You all right?
Yeah, I'm not in any condition to carry him.
I like that right when he said, "Are you
Get him back
alright?"
to the security room.
There was like an arterial spurt of blood out of his leg.
Brad! Oh my god!
And then he walked all the way back here himself.
The sedative's taken effect. The professor won't be waking up anytime soon. I managed to stop the bleeding, but he's running a fever. He needs medicine.
A fever.
That's a pretty fast infection
Medicine, huh?
on a gunshot wound. Alright, so that's not even the end of Case 2-3. Or Case 2, I suppose. But, I think we've already been running a little long here, and I think I've already said a whole lot of things about Dead Rising. And I don't know if you really want to stick around to hear more. But, yeah. It's Dead Rising. It's still fun, and I'm glad that this finally came to PC, and, you know, is actually a good functional port, unlike the BioShock Remastered port, which was working great for me when I did the video. But then they patched it, and those patches cause it to constantly crash now. But yeah, this had one little issue for me, is when it first came out, the sound didn't work unless I changed the, you know, my hertz level. My, I guess, sound quality is what I meant. So if I had turned my sound quality down, I had audio, or audio bitrate, I guess is what I'm talking about. But if I used my default, there was no sound. But they fixed that, thankfully. And otherwise, this doesn't seem to have problems. You know, stable frame rate. Controls are pretty good with mouse and keyboard, which is what I've been using here. There are a few little weird idiosyncrasies, but those are more the original game's control scheme than anything PC related. Like when you aim, it defaults to, you know, directly in front of Frank. So if you're looking up and you aim, you won't be aiming up, you'll be aiming straight ahead and you'll have to readjust. But the aiming was always a little wonky, which is alright because guns aren't super useful. Anyhow, I've been Shadefire, this is Dead Rising Ramblings, and I hope you'll join me with some future revisited stuff, which will mostly be stuff that I'm replaying. Like, I'll probably do one of these for Dishonored, because I'm planning on replaying that before Dishonored 2 comes out. In, like, 12 days. But, yeah, I don't know. I wonder if people are curious to hear me ramble about these things, but, regardless, I hope you'll join me again next time. Until then, you folks all take care.
Okay.